first.
Well, here at the noon hour, we are tracking quiet weather across Arkansas. We had a little bit of light shower activity down across far southeastern sections of the state. That was in Ashley and Chico County. And for the rest of us, we've just got a little bit of cloud cover here and there. Most of it trying to stay north of I-40 right now, but we do expect a little bit more development as we continue on today. Rain chance-wise, that will increase as we head towards the peak heating hours, which is only about 3 to 4 away. We're going to talk about what you can expect as we continue this afternoon and how the rest of this work week and weekend are looking like as Arkansas Today starts now.
Now, covering every county, this is your statewide newscast, Arkansas Today.
Good Wednesday afternoon, and thanks for joining us for Arkansas Today. I'm Mallory Brooks. The search is on for a man suspected of killing a mother and her 4-year-old son. Camden police say their bodies were found inside a home Tuesday afternoon. The suspected killer is still on the run. Police are not releasing any information about how the two were killed. Rochelle Turner has more.
It was kind of scary.
Neighbors on Ronald Drive are at loss for words after police found Alyssa Cannon and her 4-year-old son, Braden Ponder, dead inside this home Tuesday.
It's kind of devastating to really think that something like this would happen.
Police are searching for this man, Jorge Worthen, in connection to the murders. Kid McCarroll lives across the street, and he couldn't believe it.
They were a very nice couple, very sweet, and I never figured something like that would happen across the street.
It's just awful. And, you know, Camden is such a small town. Everyone knows everyone. And we haven't had a tragedy like this in years.
The family of Alyssa Cannon told police that she and her 4-year-old son were with Jorge Worthen. They didn't hear from them since Saturday and filed a missing persons report. The bodies were sent to the state crime lab.
And that was Rochelle Turner reporting. Camden police say Jorge J. Worthen may be driving Alyssa's 2007 white Honda Accord with Arkansas state license plate 921YBE. Take a good look at him on your screen. Police say he is wanted for the double homicide and is considered very dangerous. It was a day of remembrance for those who served in the Korean War. A ceremony was held Tuesday at Shogun Steakhouse in Fayetteville, where 16 Korean War veterans were awarded the Korean Medal of Peace. The Korean American Federation of Arkansas has partnered with Arkansas Department of Veterans Affairs to host multiple events around the state to observe the 69th anniversary of the Korean War. We caught up with a veteran who had a close call while serving with his brother.
And in 1953, I was operating the boiler down in the engine room. Boiler blowed up, and it sent me plumb across the engine room. And I was knocked out for like 3 or 4 hours. Laid me out on the deck. My poor old brother, he thought I was dead. I'm tough. I come back alive.
Amazing man right there. There will be a state ceremony for Korean veterans on July 27th at the MacArthur Museum of Arkansas Military History in Little Rock. UAMS launching a digital health spine clinic that allows patients across Arkansas with spinal cord tumors or those who have undergone recent surgery to go to the location closest to their home without having to travel to Little Rock to see a specialist. Those clinics are being held through a live video and data connection to UAMS regional campuses around the state. T. Glenn Pate, the director of the Spine Institute, says the goal of the clinic is to help eliminate long-distance travel for patients, working with them before and after that surgery, and providing therapy to help spinal conditions heal. Immigrant advocacy groups in Arkansas taking action after President Donald Trump announced immigration custom enforcement could be raiding areas in multiple states in the coming weeks. Reporter Clarissa Bustamante met with those groups and has a look at how they are supporting immigrant communities through education.
This tweet has immigrants across the country feeling uneasy.
What the president said by Twitter last week is really scaring our community.
President Donald Trump announced ICE raids on businesses and communities would happen Sunday to deport those who are undocumented. Then he delayed the action. Arkansas isn't one of the targeted cities, but the nonprofit Arkansas United wants to educate people and urge them to stay calm.
We're doing this too in solidarity with other states, with other brothers and sisters, organizations that they're doing their best to train their communities, train their businesses to be ready in case something happens.
The immigrant community is, of course, very paranoid about the situation, and they are in fear.
The Know Your Rights presentation walks immigrants through what to do in case of deportation.
We teach them that they have the right not to open the doors if they're in their houses, and the business owners or managers, they have the right not to open the doors to ICE if they don't have an official warrant.
Irma Chavez, the operations director for Arkansas United, wants to change the mindset that immigrants don't have any rights.
Sometimes a community, if they're undocumented, they think they don't have any rights because they're in a country that is not ours, and then probably they think, oh, we don't have any rights.
Immigrant rights advocate Irvin Camacho leads a group of Latinx youth and allies to educate the community.
We want to make sure that we protect those immigrants that do have to go through situations like this, where their homes get raided, where their jobs get raided, or where they get stopped in the streets.
The overall message these groups want to leave: it's important to stay calm because you're not alone.
Because you may say it's not going to happen to me, but if it happened to you, it's good to be prepared.
And that was Clarissa Bustamante reporting. An advocacy group is scheduled to host another Know Your Rights forum today at 6:30 in Springdale. The information will be on our website. Eastbound and down, loaded up and truckin'. The 13th annual Bandit Run made its trek through Fort Smith yesterday. Co-founder David Hershey says the Bandit Run came from the movie Smokey and the Bandit. Every year, people from around the world meet up in Texas and follow that route that Bandit and the Snowman took in the movie.
It's like a Comic-Con rolling down the highway. We don't just stay put like Star Trek does. We're the Bandit Run, so we drive down the road and we go from place to place just showing off.
Hershey says they'll be heading to Branson next, and then we'll wrap up in Kansas City with a big celebration. Looks like